What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Game Channel. My name's AJ Gales. How y'all doing? We are starting, I guess, something else new today, seeing that we've already started Empire of Sin. This is Twin Mirror. Now, this game's been on my radar for a while now. I'm always interested in what Don't Nod's gonna do. I do like Don't Nod's games. Vampire was fun. I really like the original Life is Strange. I liked Before the Storm. Life is Strange 2 I could have avoided. I'm still... Is it Tell Me Why? Was that their other one that I started playing and then I just got I got partway through and I just kind of I don't want to say I just like went nah, I don't care anymore, but it's just one of those that it just kind of got lost in the shuffle. But of what I played of it, it was actually it was pretty good. I like it. So this game has really kind of been on my radar, especially because it's not like a lot of the other stuff they've done. It's from some of the preview material that I've seen, it looks like there's some action stuff. There is some narrative, kind of trying to figure out what's going on. In a weird way, it reminds me of Alan Wake in some ways. It's about a guy who goes to a town for a funeral, trying to wrap up some things from his past, but ends up forgetting what he did the night before last, thinking that he might have murdered somebody and trying to remember what happened. It's a whole kind of an interesting story. So I'm curious of how everything's going to play out. This I'm playing right now on PS5. It is also available on PS4. I believe this is a PlayStation exclusive, now that I think about it. I don't know why I didn't just come to this screen and have music playing in the background while I'm just sitting in there in the, that silent opening screen. But, yeah, we're just going to start a new game. As far as I know, this isn't episodic. I believe this is just a, full game. It's $30, by the way, if you're interested. It's not full price. So, yeah, like I said, I'm playing on PS5. I believe this is a PlayStation exclusive.
Finally clearing up after a light rainfall most of the afternoon. The weather's approaching 49 degrees.
So, let's go.
West Virginia eating ahead of us. Wrap up tight and settle in, folks. This is 104.3 WVCK, the Basswood Sound. And I'm your host, Carrie Hammond. Coming up after a short break, mental health expert Dr. Winter will discuss the recent opioid epidemic that's been affecting.
And that CD on the ready.
Bed don't weigh the same. And change my clothes and wash my hands. Does the well go down that low? Let me breathe and I'll let you go. I knelt down in desperation. I felt around for something real. There's a radio station playing wrong in my ear. You keep coming alive, keep coming alive, keep coming alive, keep coming alive. You keep coming alive, keep coming alive, keep coming alive, keep coming alive.
Time to kill before the funeral. Might as well spend it here. This place was always one for decisions. Somewhere for things to fall apart.
Yeah, the company made sure we knew how
Welcome back
gorgeous
to
they
Basswood,
were.
Sam.
Okay. This is what I'm talking. Like, this game to me, from everything I've seen, kind of looks more like there's a little more action, a little more gameplay, but I still see the Life is Strange
I came up here
underpinnings.
every chance I could. One of the all-time great views. Really makes a small town look big.
You know, it's stuff like this sort of like third person kind of walk around, interact with the environment, let the kind of like let it tell you the story sort of deals.
I'm not sure Nick would even want me at his funeral, given how I left things. I remember spending entire summers on the banks fishing with Nick. My hometown. It felt more imposing in my nightmares. Strange to think of Basswood without its mine.
Ruined, closed, sucks. Alright.
You'd think the massive cliff face would be a giveaway.
Yeah, well, you'd think. Because sign protects better than sturdy railings. Well, I mean, you gotta put a sign up everywhere, because if you don't, then it's easier to sue you.
I get the feeling it still sees some use, given how bad the coverage is up here. These trails were great to walk if you wanted to feel truly alone. Hunting is another tradition I could never get behind. Just don't see the appeal.
When hunting, carry with you any and all required permits and licenses. Do not hunt while under the influence of alcohol. Hunting is forbidden between half an hour after sunset and half an hour before sunrise. Alright.
Some of these species are endangered. She wrote an article about it.
West Virginia's scenic mountain forests are home to deer, flying squirrels, red foxes, field mice, rabbits, and cave bats, among other animals. Bobcats, wild boars, and even black bears have been seen all over the state. Even very remote farmsteads have occasionally sighted the eastern cougar, Puma concolor, on the prowl.
A lot of people were upset when it closed, but not upset enough to fix it. I left a sandwich in it for a whole week once. Dad never let me forget it.
You know, he mentioned hunting is something he can never get behind. It's always something I've wanted to try. You know, I've always wanted to go out hunting, and I know people who do.
Helped give me perspective. Until that day.
You know, I know people who hunt. It's one of those things I've always wanted to try it. I've just never had the time / ability to go do it. Okay.
Why can't the real world be as clear and peaceful as my own mind?
Optimal shot angles, math for billiards, I guess?
Even if it does mean nothing stays hidden in here. Not even me.
Okay, so if I believe this is called his Mind Palace. This is a whole thing with his... this is a whole thing about this game and him trying to remember what happened the night before he loses his memory. So a lot of the game takes place in this sort of world trying to piece things together, something. It's got a really cool visual.
I've been meaning to ask you something. Don't freak out. Would you be my little girl's godfather? I wouldn't trust anyone else with this.
And yet I stopped taking his calls. He even called once the day before he died. I'll never know what he wanted to talk to me about.
This is Anna. She works freelance. Does a lot of the human interest pieces.
What can I say? I'm interested in humans and their pieces. What do you like to write?
I gotta run to a review with Walt. You two feel free to chit-chat. And Sam, be nice.
I had never met someone so interested in others, even in me.
The story is important. You know I think that. It's just... people around here have short tempers and long memories. Be careful. Sam, are you even listening to me?
I heard you, Anna. But no, I wasn't listening. Come on, Anna, look at this.
What is it? Someone skinny dipping?
Anna, you really need to see this.
I can't even see. Something's blocking it. Sam, what are you doing?
I'm trying to be romantic.
What? Wait. Please don't tell me you're proposing.
I'm down on one knee, a ring. What else would I be doing?
That was going to be my question.
You look like I just ran over your grandma. Okay, the silence is really starting to scare me now. Anna, please say something.
Sam, put that away. Come on. I don't want a ring. I don't need a ring. You should know that. We've discussed it before.
We weren't happy. She was the one brave enough to face that. Lost in my head again. How much time did I miss?
Alright, so I decided to take a walk, opportunity before Nick's funeral. I thought I wasn't ready to face Basswood again, but the past is already pulling me back in. My memories are so vivid, it's as if I'd never left. Remember that night at the Spyglass? Okay, so we have people. We have Sam. I left Basswood 2 years ago to run away from a job at a small-town newspaper, a town full of angry people and a failed relationship. I didn't glance back. Now I'm going home to attend my best friend's funeral. What could be more fun than facing all your past mistakes at your friend's graveside, huh? So I'm taking from what all we saw there, local reporter, who I think as the Anna chick was kind of getting at in that one recollection, he was probably ruffling some feathers, was the truth needs to be heard, and then some stuff happened. A lot of people maybe lost their jobs and whatnot, so even though he probably did the right thing, he ended up losing the, support of the townspeople, so he was kind of hated in a small town. Obviously, as we saw, their relationship was kind of weird, so, it makes sense why he ran. Nick's been my friend since we were kids. My only friend. I ghosted him 2 years ago when I left Basswood, and now he's ghosting me by being dead. Yeah, that's kind of how that works. Samuel Higgs. That's a name. Anna, the one that got away. Would my whole life be different had she said yes? Seeing her again, that's going to be hard. Yet part of me is looking forward to it. The rest of me wants to run around and leave now. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. So we also have stats and everything. Can I run or
Missed the
something?
funeral. Maybe it's for the best. On the bright side, Nick's not alive for me to let him down again.
Wait a minute. Did we miss the funeral by standing there just... Like, were we just standing there looking out at the view for hours and just missed the funeral because of that?
Sorry, Walter, but I don't think I'll stick around. Given up already? Just a quick, depressing jaunt down memory lane and then you're gone? I know you think that the only thing waiting for you down there is hurt. Lots of hurt. And you might be right. But it's been 2 years. It's time to face the world. Time to adult.
Boo. Adulting's
Good news,
boring.
At least, you don't have to do it alone. Lost the signal. Some things never change.
Alright, trophies popping all pretty quick. Alright, as far as the opening scenes go, pretty interesting. Introduced us to that whole Mind Palace idea. I'm curious how... I'm really interested to see how all that's gonna kind of play out throughout the rest of the game.
Muley, you actually came.
It's been a while. You've gotten taller.
Can we talk?
We're talking right now.
Why does it sound like they're in a hallway?
It's cold.
Like, does anyone else hear it?
So,
You left.
Joan, that's not fair.
You left.
Yeah, she's right.
Look, Joan, I messed up.
You said you wouldn't leave. You said... I don't remember exactly, but you pinky swore.
I didn't mean to lie. I just screwed up. After Anna broke up with me, I'm sorry. I wish words meant anything. I wish this didn't make it harder for you to trust me now.
You could have at least called something, especially after... after my dad.
I don't know what to say to that. You're right. I wasn't in a state where I could reach out to anyone. I'm still not. If Nick hadn't died, I never would have come back.
Thanks for being honest. You're always at least honest. Listen, I wanted to talk to you about what happened to Dad. It doesn't make sense. He wouldn't have just crashed. He drove like a grandma, you know that. It's wrong. I don't buy it.
I'm just in town for the funeral, Joan. I'm not a PI or a cop.
You're the closest thing I can talk to. Will you just look into it, Muley? Please?
She wants her father's death to mean something. But where does that lead?
Who is this?
What if it leads to the truth? That could change everything. An hour ago, you wanted to run away. Now you want to start another investigation? A few questions won't hurt anyone. Just tonight. To reassure her. And myself. This is a wake. If you poke around, people may end up poking back. Okay, whatever you do, at least leave the kid out of it. It would be cruel to lead her on. Friends don't lie to each other. Even if it means disappointing her again. It's your call.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it. I promise her.
See what I can see and all that. Gumshoe it up.
You will?
You make some good points. It doesn't fit. I hate when things don't fit.
Yeah, me too. I might just be, I don't know, crazy or something, but
You want to know for sure. I get it.
thanks, Muley. I should go in before my mom misses me. You better get in there too. Can't hide in your car all night.
Who says I'm hiding out here?
I do.
Yeah, here's my next question, kid. Why are you in the driver's seat? All right, so I've got two theories of who the guy in the back seat, you know, who he was talking to. I've got two theories of who that was. One, that's a younger Sam, you know, that's just sort of like an internal monologue sort of thing. Guess number two, it's an alternate personality. I mean, we saw the pills and all that at the, you know, yeah, down there at the start of the game. I mean, are they they could be antidepressants, they could be anti-anxiety medications, they could be a lot of things. Could be something to help with a multiple personality sort of situation. Just throwing that one out there. Maybe some sort of low-grade schizophrenia, if I understand how that works correctly. Who the hell knows? But, yeah, I think it's possible. The same town, same doubts, contradictions, face it or escape it. This time I made a different decision. The temptation to embark on another doomed investigation leading to nothing but pain was too strong to resist. Am I doing this for Joan, for Nick, or for myself? Of all people I hurt when I left Basswood, Joan is the one who least deserved it. She was just a kid and my goddaughter. But it's a tough job to be a lonely kid's only friend. I couldn't hack it. Now that her dad died, things aren't going to get any easier for her. Angry, hurt, stubborn, hard to believe. Joan was the one who nicked me Muley. Not that I'm looking for an excuse. I made a promise to a child that will break her heart, whether I keep it or not. What if she's right about her father's death? What will that do to her? And what if I can give her the answers she's hoping for? Okay. There's something else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, I really like that little menu or little tooltip or whatever you want to call it that keeps popping up next to people. Like when the kid was walking towards us, you know, like right above her right shoulder, you know, you saw who she was. You saw a similar thing in the Mind Palace. You know, you saw the billiards table. It said, you know, shot angles. You know, it was this, train derailment, this car crash or whatever. You know, you'll see those little things pop up. It's very natural and this kind of blends in with the environment.
Might as well
You
talk to
also...
Walter. I'll have to, sooner or later.
Oh, there we go. R2 makes me walk faster. You also notice it sometimes with things in the environment. I'll see if I can point it out.
Whoever said you can judge someone by their car never met Tara.
Yeah, you see right there? Coal Miner's Haven, everything has a reference to the mine. Yeah, you see that little tip right there? I like that. It's very natural. It fits with the environment.
Old bar. The more things change.
Yes, the cat food is under the sink. Yes, it is, Mother.
In right there.
Oh,
It just
Samuel's here.
fits.
I'll call you back. Samuel Higgs, as I live and breathe. Has it really been over 2 years? Regardless, I'm so glad you finally made it. It's good to see you. What kept you?
A trip down memory lane. I missed the funeral, but I made it to Nick's wake.
You have to bring it in for a hug. It's a Basswood back in town requirement. So good to see you, even if I wish the circumstances were different. In times like these, we need the comforting touch of others. At least I do.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to kind of endear ourselves to the locals, especially if we're going to be poking around, asking questions and whatnot.
Also, have you spoken to Anna lately?
No, why?
No reason. If you get the chance, we should catch up. We should really catch up. I'll see you inside.
Here we go.
Do load screens. Do. Oh my god. Playing stuff like Spider-Man or whatever that's just got those like super fast load screens. This is unbearable for me. It's so weird going back and playing a game made for the previous generations or whatever. It feels like it takes forever.
Mr. Samuel Higgs, big shot investigative reporter.
Didn't think you'd ever be back in here.
I'd gladly slash your tires, but that mean you couldn't leave town. And you are leaving town right after this, right? As if you aren't, well, Nick's memory only goes so far.
Yeah, nothing good's gonna come of trying to start a fight.
That's what I thought.
Come on, it ain't worth it. Making friends already, I see.
Declan, been a while.
Hey, careful. I'd rather not be working tonight. And you always seem to angry up everyone's blood.
I'm only here to pay my respects to Nick. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, shame that. You watch yourself.
I think it's time I go put up a photo at the memorial board. That's what people do,
That's
right?
the guy who got the mine closed.
I can't believe you showed up.
Yeah, that's what I thought. No one allowed back there. Collection of bottles, alcohols from all over the country. Ethan likes to show off.
He's owned this bar for almost a decade and still can't afford another employee.
And let's see here. So we have Walter. I like going over all these character introductions. Old boss at the paper. I'd say he taught me everything I know, but given my track record, that wouldn't be much of a compliment. I always thought Walter was the decent sort, the rare breed who truly believes his job is to serve the community. Seeing the old Joker was nicer than I expected. You have Declan. Declan's a loyal law enforcement, or Declan's the one more time. Declan's the local law enforcement. There we go. I vaguely remember him from school. He used to get into fights a lot, usually to protect smaller kids. No one was surprised that he became a cop. All the miners from Basswood lost their jobs when the mines closed. I know better than to provoke them. My guess is they were doing something shady from a, what's the term? From an environmental standpoint. So, and, Sam reported on it, blew the lid off something and ended up getting the mines closed and people lost their jobs. That's my guess, what's going on.
Ah, Samuel, my favorite ex-muckracker. Join us.
How was the funeral?
Wasn't there. Setting up for this.
Everyone came, most of the town, it felt like. A sea of sad, wet eyes. I gave the eulogy. Felt hollow. So hollow. He worked for me for years. For years, my best reporter. What do you even say about him?
He loved people, sharing things, having fun together. Take video games. He didn't even care if it was some cooking game or shooting game or what, as long as we were playing together.
I always prefer my games analog. Chess, Go. You two did seem to bond over them, though.
It's the small things. Like he always kept his window down. Said cars made him claustrophobic. That's how he stays with us. The little details.
I remember the bar bets about that safe spot at Pac-Man. He got me one night.
Yeah, got me once too. Can't believe it's real.
Enough about Nicholas, enough. Tell me, how have you been, Sam? How have you really been?
I spend all day doing nothing. I don't even count days. They just blur together. Nick's death barely hit me. It was like a pinprick compared to just everything.
Time heals most wounds. Some it just makes worse. Sounds like you need something to pull you out of your rut.
Well, I think I've taken enough of your gents' time.
Go, mingle, circulate, but you must join us for an actual round later. You must.
Oh, Walter, can I ask you something?
Questions are the fountainhead of knowledge.
Nick's crash. Was there anything suspicious about it?
I asked myself the same thing. The very same thing. It did seem odd. Young Nicholas, a careful man in all things, including driving. I looked into it myself. You know what I found?
What?
A tragic accident with nothing amiss. I am both relieved and saddened to say.
Ah.
Life is rarely like a crime thriller, and while I don't mind you asking, some might find it a distasteful conversation at a man's memorial. Especially from you.
I'll, keep that in mind.
See that you do, my boy. See that you do.
Yeah, I'm not gonna listen to that piece of advice, but, when do I ever listen to sound advice?
Sammy! Oh, it's been ages.
Tara?
Oh, me? I've had this stomach thing lately, always churning. And this thing with Nick, his car went up like a Sunday ham. He burned alive, Have you met Hugh? He took
Holy shit.
No.
The infamous Sam. I've read that article you wrote on the mine. You must have put in a lot of legwork on that.
Oh, you read it. What do you think?
Of the writing? Fine. Fine. Of the reporting? Something that needed to be done. Many medicines are a bitter brew, but you still need to take them.
That's nice of you to say.
Now, don't hesitate to drop by the pharmacy sometime.
Oh, and Sam,
But for now, I have a feeling you're not here for us.
Oh, right. Don't be a stranger, Sam.
Let's see, anything else that we can...
I thought it was 4,000.
Bess always had a soft spot for Nick.
That's what
I think she liked his work ethic.
That amount is damaging.
Pretty courageous of him to try his luck in Basswood, given the state of things. Can't believe this whole thing's still working.
I really like the aesthetic of the Mind Palace. It just looks really cool.
Daddy, 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 open your eyes and wake up. The kids and I've been busy, and we got a little something for you that's gonna make you smile all day. Daddy, 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 Daddy. But when the lights are out, it's time for me to show you my love. And I've got a feeling you've been pleased. So, Daddy, 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 sit yourself down. Now you should know how much.
Nick and I spent so much money on this machine.
Alright, anything else going on here in the bar that I can look at?
Some people can play this game drunk. Anna was best at 3 beers.
Yeah, I'm best at just not playing because I suck something awful. Slightly short back corner leg is in vain. I love those little pop-ups.
Should I have brought flowers? Do people expect me to? Kathy,
Sam, you actually came.
yeah, well, here I am. I'm just as surprised as you. How have you been?
Life in Basswood has been hard these last years. You'd know if you'd stayed. Joan was really hurt when you left town. Nick and I were never close after the breakup, and Joan's never had a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Maybe don't break her heart this time when you leave town. All right?
Your daughter thinks Nick's crash doesn't make sense.
She's a little girl who lost her father. She's confused right now. Don't you go encouraging her, or worse, putting those thoughts in her head. I frankly thought you knew better.
Do you think she has a point?
I think you should stay away from her.
Well, that was worth a shot. Though, should we be surprised she wasn't too terribly happy with us? There we go.
You're a lot like Pac-Man, Sam.
I consume everything in my path?
You find every last bite. The mine closing wasn't your fault. Your investigation just hurried things up. You probably saved some lives, you know.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Muley.
You piece of...
Language.
Is that a wedding ring?
I didn't know you were thinking about marriage.
Oh, it's just... It feels like the right thing to do.
Dad, what's the point of getting married?
Well, It's just one of those things people do, Bug. Here, you can play.
Someone has to show you grown-ups. Video games are the realm of the young.
Whoa. Yeah, about right.
That's kind of the point. I'll talk to her about it when I show her the ring.
If you say so. Hey, just remember I'm here, right? If you need anything. Anything but my arcade secrets. Those I'll take to the grave.
Sorry we lost touch. Sorry I lost touch. Rest up, big guy. This photo always looked weird. Nick could never keep a straight face. I wonder who took that picture. Happier times. Look at us. He was more her best friend than a dad. Those two were a great team. Bug was so small back then.
I'm gonna guess hence the nickname.
Happier times. We drove straight to the sea after work on a Friday. Hell of a weekend.
Samuel, guess I lost the bet.
Bet?
Yeah, that bet you'd never come back to Basswood. Not after you went careening out of town like a bat out of hell the instant that article broke bad.
Well, Dennis, I won the bet I had with myself that you'd be an asshole right off the bat.
That was a safe bet.
What are you even doing here, Dennis? You and Nick become friends or something?
Nope. He thought I was a drunk, which I am. And I thought
so
he was
being at a bar makes sense.
He was.
This coming from the IT guy. Didn't know resetting passwords could give you a journalism degree.
It can. But it does give me less patience for people who sling mud my way. Relax. I'm just playing. At least tell me how you been.
Yeah, like you'd care.
Not too much. But suit yourself if you want to be like that. Anyway, cheers to Nick. A man that, unlike us, people actually liked. Speaking of which...
As time draws near, my dearest dear, when you and I must part, how little you know of the grief and woe in my poor aching heart. 'Tis but I suffer for your sake. Believe me, dear, that's true. I wish that you were staying here.
What? Finish the song. God damn it, you suck at performing. I know, it's a sad moment, AJ. Why are you being such an asshole? Well, guess what? You can't finish on that. You have to return to 1. I don't know, it's a music thing. I barely remember. Goes to show how well I paid attention to music class. But I can tell you it didn't end on 1. Small town bartender who listens to most folks talk. Ethan's bar must be the only prosperous business. Kathy and Nick married young, divorced quick. I'm not sure she's ever really liked me, though I was her daughter's godfather. Or maybe that just made things worse. Kathy's never forgiven me for disappearing from Joan's life. With Walter, what you see is what you get. His grief for Nick is sincere. Dennis is the IT guy at the paper I used to work for. I remember him as a bitter and mean-spirited guy, a loner with not many friends in Basswood. So am I, but it doesn't mean we're kindred spirits. He was new in town. Seems he knows how to fit in. Then again, as the town pharmacist, fitting in is part of his job. Still, it's decent of him to have come to Nick's wake. And Tara, the office administrator at Basswood Jungle, is the proverbial weird coworker. She likes everyone and everything. Dinosaurs, romance novels, I'll try this one more time. Evangelical TV, conspiracy theories, race cookies, unusual street names, you name it. She'd talk about it for hours. Okay. In a way, I'm kind of that guy as well.
Sam!
You know, I'm kind of have an interest in a lot of different things.
I've missed you.
Maybe with a little less crazy cat lady in there,
To
but
darken my doorstep.
I won't lie, it really hurt coming back. I stopped by Lookout Point on the way here.
Sam, why'd you do that to yourself?
A desire to open old wounds. The old-timers gave me hell when I came in, too.
People around here have short tempers,
And long memories.
but most of them mean well. Sam, the mine was gonna close anyways. Maybe in a year or 2, 5, if the Lord has a sense of humor. It was gonna run dry or have an even bigger disaster. It wasn't your fault.
I wish everyone else understood that.
People are scared. Mad. You were easy to blame. When my father lost his legs, nobody knew the mine wasn't following regulations. You were the only one who started asking questions. Whenever people talk about you, he always says, you did the right thing.
Yeah, well, your dad's Joe. He's an oak. Unmoving and annoyingly supportive.
It wasn't just him. Nick thought your piece was great. He was actually jealous. He always wanted to write something that shook the pillars of heaven, as he used to put it. You know, Nick and I had moved in together. Started to get serious. But I think it's only now I realize how much I cared for him.
Yeah. That's, you two must be so hard.
Are you okay? You knew about us, right? He said he was gonna tell you.
Yeah, I knew, but knowing and, knowing are different.
Yeah, I guess they are. But this was all nice. The funeral, the wake.
What's with all these hand gestures?
But it all just makes me feel heavy. It makes my heart hurt. Like Nick's memory has been laid on top of me and I'm still carrying him.
I gotta do it.
Nick's death. Do you know if he had any enemies? Working on anything dangerous?
Whew. Now this is a real can of worms.
This is a wake.
I know that.
Do you? This isn't the time to be digging and pushing.
Then when is?
You always do this. You always...
Act like a journalist?
You're still you, huh? You'll always still be you, Sam. I hope you never change, but I can't handle this right now. I'm gonna go
And
home.
see, I don't...
I hate that his stuff is all over my house. Then drink and cry all night. You do what you need to do. See you around.
I don't get why that's such a hard question to answer.
Samuel, come, have a round with me.
Oh, how dare you ask that question? I think that's a fair question. You know what I mean? I think asking somebody who knew him like that, I think that's a fair question to say, was there... You know, did he have any enemies? What was he working on? I mean, I think he could have maybe been a little softer with it, but still. I don't think that was a bad question to ask. I don't think it's insensitive. I mean, especially, it's like, she should know that he's still the same old him, still has that journalistic mind of, well, if something doesn't make sense, I'm going to try and make sense of it. But yeah, something else, that while she and...
People leave you or they die. That's the only way anything ends.
What's the triangle and X both
bitter and jaded? He's even worse than the last time we spoke.
Yeah, why is X and triangle, why are they blacked out? But no, I think you could tell when they were having that conversation that everything that Anna was saying, it sounds nice and poetic, but when you kind of dig into it, you kind of realize she's not really saying anything. She's saying stuff that sounds meaningful and heartfelt, but really it doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot. She also left that guitar there. Yeah, it's something I get out of a lot of Telltale game or Telltale. Fuck, a lot of Don't Nod games. I think a lot of times they write dialogue that sounds. I catch myself speaking like that sometimes. That, you know, I'm saying a lot of things that makes it sound. You know, I try and use vocabulary that sounds all flowing and poetic, but then I realize, you know, what did I just say?
Mr. Hicks, good to see you. My condolences for your friend. Coming back in town must not have been easy. Officer Stevenson was telling me about your little welcoming committee.
It's all right. Declan saved the day.
We just don't want any troubles here. Not from you, not from anyone.
Don't worry, I won't stay in town long enough for that. One quick thing. Nick's death. Are you sure it was an accident?
Are we sure? What are you trying to say?
Now, Sam, I know you're a bird dog at heart and a bird dog hunts. But listen, Nick's death was an accident. Don't go riling people up. Don't you think you've done that enough to the nice folks around here?
I guess so. Enjoy your evening.
You know Sam likes to prod and poke, chasing shadows that aren't even there.
Yeah, but again, knowing him as a journalist, that's kind of what he's supposed to do.
So tragic what happened to Nick. The details are horrible.
Yeah, if anybody's going to tell us anything, it's going to be her.
Roasted to death. Not enough to damage the bones, but, you know, not a pretty sight. Unless you're into that kind of thing, of course. I didn't mean to be rude, Sam.
It's all right, Tara. I don't like the sight of dead, burned people.
Oh, thank God. I wouldn't want to be rude on a day like this. Poor Sam. Now that Nick is gone, everyone in town hates you. I mean, I don't. Why would I? It's not my job you destroyed. You're not
Oh my God.
problems. I mean, that's what you did for pretty much all of Basswood.
Holy
shit. So, I don't hate you.
Thanks for the confidence booster, Tara. I'll see you around.
You've heard the expression twisting the knife? I mean, that's like, Jesus Christ, that's turning it at 360 degrees and then kicking you in the face. Holy shit.
So, Nick wasn't drunk, and me? I was drunk as a skunk.
Ah, Samuel, join us. We were just sharing stories about dear Nicholas. And let me get your next round. Maybe Ethan has a suggestion for a worthy spirit?
Wow, spirits? Oh, no. Friends drink beer.
Yes, I suppose that's fitting. To dear Nicholas.
Looks like they're drinking orange juice.
Yeah, he'd been coming in a lot lately. Sat right there, with a bad dad joke or two.
With friends, I guess? Maybe Anna.
Well, by himself with his laptop as his date.
He never drank alone.
You two were close, though, right? Tell me about the man outside the bar.
He had a terrible memory. Couldn't remember names, dates, passwords. Kept his notes squirreled around him like a hoard.
He got married young and had a kid. Then broke up and dated my ex. And they were happy. In love. Anna clearly cared about him a lot.
Oh, my boy, you can't compare lives, just like you can't compare pain. They just simply are. The friend of man, the friend of truth. The friend of age and guide of youth. Few hearts like his with virtue warmed, few hearts with knowledge so informed. If there's another world, he lives in bliss. If there is none, he made the best of this.
Burns. That from your eulogy?
You know Robert Burns? And no, just something I keep on hand for toasts.
Well, it's a good choice. And sorry about that, Sam. I wasn't trying to bring you down.
Everyone liked him. I think even Dennis liked him somewhat.
He always had a lot of friends. A few who couldn't make it sent flowers.
How's the family taking it?
Joan and Kathy seem shaken. Kathy has a lot to deal with, now more than ever. And who could prepare for losing a parent? Not a soul. Not a single soul.
It always seemed so easy for him. Every day he'd show up, smile, no matter what.
Of the qualities in a good man, that one deserves to be at the top.
Not a quality I possess.
This isn't a place for self-pity. This is a place for dour reflection.
Yes, and drinking.
God, the smiles are freaking me out, man.
To Nick, he was my friend. He will be missed, but not forgotten.
Hear, hear.
And the flat performances are also a little weird.
Put that down! Kathy, what's your underage child doing drinking? You have no control over her? Ethan could lose his
I
license.
wasn't doing anything! Don't touch me!
Joan!
Leave me alone. You guys are all so stupid!
You do not talk to people that way. I'm sorry, everyone. She's just so...
That was quite heavy-handed. I hope the little one doesn't take it to heart.
Why are their beers now completely full? Like, did Ethan refill them during all that?
I'll send her a text. Make sure she's gonna be okay.
Are you okay? Okay. You know, you're leaving, like, yeah, you're leaving perfectly good beer. Sorry, I just tapped my microphone. You're leaving perfectly good beer at the bottom of those glasses.
Night. I'd say that went well. Ish. You got to chat with everyone you've been avoiding. Even if Joan got inside your head with her whole dad mystery death thing. Just shut up. Coming back to Basswood was your idea. You're the one in the driver's seat, Sam. I can't make you do anything. deep down, you've been looking for a reason to come back. It's gonna be one of those long nights inside your head, huh? I am so very sorry. You stuck in existence, stuck in my head, just a terrible state you're in. Get your anger and sarcasm out of your system. Better you take it out on me than anyone else. You're back out in the world. Feeling emotions, fitting in, that's progress. Fuck the world. Pointless talking and more talking, and no one says what they mean. Go away. Let me enjoy being miserable. Just try and make sure you don't do anything stupid. No promises.
Again, that's perfectly good beer at the bottom of that glass. I'm still waiting for the explanation of what the hell that guy is. Is it past Sam? Is it just his inner monologue? Like, what exactly is it?
Checkout was at 9. Sir, we need the room.
No, stay out.
You have 10 minutes before we charge you for another day.
Okay. What kind of monsters have a checkout at 9? What happened last night? Oh, my head. Pills plus drinking. That was not my best idea. Did I black out or what? I can't think straight. I need some water on my face. Clear it up.
All right, let's see. A lot of new information here. And then Nick talk about cliches. Moment I love Basswood. Best friend next get together. Okay. Joan's on an awkward phase when she's a kid, a teenager, and an adult at the same time. Grief isn't helping. Okay. Subtlety is not Declan's thing, but he's always been a straight-up cop, and he cares about Basswood. Never thought he'd be like that with Joan. Things must be boring in Basswood if he needs the thrill of yelling at a kid, or the contrary, perhaps Declan's under a lot of stress. Kathy and Joan's relationship seems fraught with tension. Tara has no filter. She'd make a terrible spy or serial killer. Or maybe an excellent one. And Bess comes from a family of cops that goes back generations. She spends every waking hour on the job, and it means everything to her. But she's also a politician, knows her audience, and chooses her words carefully. All right, there we go. So all the information about the individual people. 147%. Okay. Really, most people didn't avoid the fight? Okay. Found it nice to remember about Nick and the memorial board, reunion with Anna. Asked a question about Nick's death. Okay. Yeah, I think this is where we'll call this video, guys. I want to say, as always, thanks so much for watching. Social media's in the description. Like, comment, if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more next time. Until then, my name's AJ Gels. This is Something Game Channel. I'm out.